There was a stranger on Insta who wrote to me that his dad was suffering from a disease of the arteries. He was confined to a wheelchair and he couldn't even get up and walk. But when he saw my dance video with Ankita, he actually made an attempt to walk. Now tell me, friends, how heartwarming is that? People have told me my dance videos and all have been shared across platforms, and the response has been really, really, really heartwarming. And this journey has become so much more bearable, tolerable. In fact, it has become, I mean, my strength has been my friends and my family. So, what this gratitude has to be there for all of you. Then resilience. I know whatever may be the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give in without a fight. That's the resilience. Empathy. There's a saying all of you would be knowing. I cried because I had no shoes until I saw a child with no feet. I know my journey has been tough. A doctor once told me, your condition was like suffering from a near fatal accident on a particular day and walking into another equally dangerous situation on the same day. He also told me, on a scale of 1 to 10, your complexity was 12. But believe me, friends, I have seen much, much worse than this. People really, really suffering. When compared to their condition, mine is really not all that bad. So that empathy factor is huge. And discipline. I know what has kept me going is discipline. All through my life, I have inculcated this habit from my father. I know I'm traversing a minefield on a day-to-day basis. I'm living in a condition where the only certainty, friends, is uncertainty. Cancer is like a stealth warrior. It can always creep back. Every 3 months, blood test, every 6 months, PET scan for the next couple of years at least. So I know if I'm not disciplined, I probably might not survive. So discipline is another major learning from cancer. And I would now like to end by sharing a few coping mechanisms, which are good or great, not only for cancer, for any difficult, any crisis situation you may encounter. First is, don't take yourself seriously. We are all so much filled with that seriousness about life. मैं और मेरी तन्हाई, ये महलों ये तख्तों. Guru is my favorite, but sometimes not. So, like, there was this, whether it's the bum on the boil or boil in a bum, like I said earlier, laugh it off, man. Nothing is permanent except your attitude. So, there was this doctor friend of mine who told me long back, just before my surgery. So now Ramen, you've gone on to social media, you're sharing jokes, parodies, dialogues, and whatnot, and all that, messages. Now you have to become antarmukhi. You have to internalize everything. So I told him, boss, for the last 6 months, I feel half of Bangalore has been peering into my rectum, and my rectum has got more eyeballs than Natu Natu dance. How much more antarmukhi should I get? Then I keep talking about my brother-in-law. He's a senior citizen. He believes in gravity. I believe in levity. Had he been around at the time of Newton, he would have discovered gravity without the help of the apple. So one day he wrote to Madhavi. Rather, he rang up and told her, what is Ramen doing? He's flirting with cancer. He's making fun of death. If he continues doing this, he'll die in bits and pieces. So I told her, you tell him that Ramen will not allow any colon to put a period, a comma, or even a semicolon to his creativity and humor. Tell him that Ramen believes in two philosophers. 1975, Gabbar Singh, जो डर गया समझो मर गया, and 2022, Pushpa, मैं झुकेगा नहीं. Also tell him 2022 is the year of the comedian. Zelensky in Ukraine, Bhagwat Mann in Punjab, and Ramendra Kumar, hopefully in Bangalore. So don't be serious. You want to take anything seriously, take humor seriously. Secondly, develop a passion, gardening, singing, music, whatever. Develop a passion so that your moments are filled with something you love to do. Develop a ikigai. So whenever these negative thoughts intrude, they don't have space in your mind because it's filled with your passion. Live in the present moment, in the here and now. All philosophers have said it, I'm only repeating it. And for people, mindfulness can be meditation. I found my meditation, my mindfulness, my here and now in the writing. After 10 days out from the hospital, I started writing. And I have now a structure where I'm in the space of creativity, either writing, reading, or storytelling on a day-to-day basis. That has given me strength. That has given me hope. And that has given me something to look forward to. Invest in relationships. Now, because in the rodent race called life, we often forget to invest in relationships, both online and offline. I've developed this concept called ATM. You know about ATM, any automatic teller machine or anytime money. My ATM is called anytime memory. So my ATM card is the anytime memory card. Please create this card. And what do you need to create this card? Only 2 4-letter words: love and time. And believe me, this card cannot be destroyed, it cannot be stolen, it cannot be lost. And whatever the vagaries of the share market, the value of this ATM card will keep spiraling ever and ever. And how do you create memories? In simple things, with your children, with your friends, with your parents, with your grandparents. Keep adding to this ATM card. And whenever you feel down and out, encash it and have a blast. Finally, create an ecosystem of positivity with you, your friends, and your family. And believe me, the doctors will give you a lot, the meds will give you a lot. But this ecosystem will help you fight the toughest of odds. Because of this ecosystem, I'm not going to live till 104. But every moment of my life will be filled with more quality, will be worth living far, far more. And every moment I'll be able to cherish. And this ecosystem will give me strength, succor, and solace. Thank you.
Oh. Thank you so much, Ramendra. I mean, this is not just your story. This is also some very great learnings for all of us.
Thank you.
What do you think, Kamal? Would you like to say something?
Yeah, I think you should be there everywhere where, support groups are there, people and families are encountering this situation where there is someone in their family who's going through it, and what kind of scaffolds they need to provide. And the positivity you said, live for today, live for the moment, and nobody knows their tomorrows. So with cancer also, one has to take that leap of faith. And
Absolutely.
as you said beautifully, ki cancer ko aap jeetne nahi denge. You'll be the one who will fight it out. You'll not allow it to put it's a colon related problem, but you won't allow commas and semicolons to come in between. That was so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And special mention of your ATM card. It is amazing concept. Amazing concept. Anytime memory. All we need is some time and love. It's an amazing concept, and we can definitely, each one of us can benefit from this. Thank you so much, Ramendra ji. And I would like to invite everyone to participate. And if you have a question or a comment, please unmute yourself and you can say.
Yes, Srinivas.
It's Ramendra. It's always a pleasure seeing you and talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you, buddy.
Today has been one more day when you talk, it's very inspiring. You say, I have not much to do with cancer, fortunate with God, but it's a lesson in general terms as well. Apart from it's for any kind of illness. It's the attitude is the number one thing, and I like the way you put it, how the attitude matters actually. I'm also proud because we're all from the same school, and it's a great honor to be here speaking with you.
Thank
you. My junior, but I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ramen, for your excellent motivation.
Thank you so much.
So you can also comment in the chat box if you would not like to speak. Yes, somebody has commented.
Usha.
Very nice, Usha ji. And prior to that, you have a comment from Principal Adani BAB. Amazing, amazing.
So did you go through any lifestyle changes after your diagnosis of cancer? Because I am also a cancer survivor, and I found I took more care. I take more care of myself today.
Yeah, lifestyle, that discipline which I mentioned, like because I have a stoma bag, always at the back of the mind, that factor is there. That whenever I'm called to any forum, outside forum, I make sure that there is a clean washroom available. That's a basic. And if it's a long session, I sometimes beg my pardon and go and clean the stoma bag. So that's a must. Then a diet again has to be regulated. As far as possible, I try to have home cooked food, not too much of food outside. And also, because of the stoma bag, I can't tuck in a shirt and wear. So a bit of sartorial tweaking is required. So I wear a shirt outside or a blazer, depending on the weather. But apart from that, the most important thing is the attitude, like Srinivas said.
Thank you. Yeah.
Shall I try and play that video on Facebook? Last time I was trying it on Instagram. Now I'll try on Facebook.
Sure.
Just give me a moment. I'll just try.
I think the voice, that streaming of the sound, it's not happening. So that's why it's breaking. But we provided the link, friends. Please go
yes.
Yeah.
The link, it's there in the chat. I'll put it once again.
Okay, Ramendra, I had a query. Do you think the doctor was able to tell you why this kind of cancer came? Or I know that
for me, it was very clear, because I don't smoke, I don't drink. Yeah. I slim and trim, I exercise regularly, swim, walking and all that. No great stress except having a beautiful, gorgeous wife. But this came because of a genetic condition. My mother in the 70s had cancer, this cancer, colon cancer, but they thought it was bleeding piles or something. And nobody ever told us. If I had gone for a colonoscopy when I was 50, I wouldn't have had to suffer. And my uncle was in America, went in for colonoscopy, but I don't know, for some strange reason, he didn't tell us. I mean, how stupid of him not to tell the family. Had he told me then, which was around 10 years back, I wouldn't have had to go through this ordeal at all. So I would suggest that anybody over 50, like in America, it's compulsory. In India, also because of our lifestyle and dietary habits, it's always better to get a checkup done. especially things like colon cancer, which are very, very common and are related to lifestyle and genetics. And if you have a hint of a genetic condition, please go in for colonoscopy. It might sound painful and all that, but believe me, it can be a difference between life and death. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I just want to add, I come from the chemical industry.
Yeah.
Now, I just want, there's a lot of, or I should say, a large number of, all kinds of chemicals which are used in the daily life compared to about 50, 60 years ago. The lifestyles have become more complicated. We use a lot more cosmetics now. There's a lot of chemical, pesticide, fertilizer, all kinds of things in the environment. Our exposures have gone up.
True.
Not all these chemicals are, put it mildly, 100% safe. So my suggestion, if it is possible, is to cut down on, synthetic chemical usage in the life in general.
True.
Let's be, it's a precaution and it's worth it. Because let's go back to the lifestyles we used to have 50, 60 years ago, which were, shall I say, more in harmony with nature. Just my one small point.
No, it's a very, very important point. I totally, completely, absolutely agree with you. We have been screwing around with our diet, with our lifestyle, and the kind of stress. See, all these are also related to stress. When we were young, Srini, when we were playing in school grounds and all that, we didn't have this kind of stress. We didn't have social media. We didn't have those kind of addictions. And so definitely lifestyle is huge, a huge contributing factor to any illness by cancer.
Yeah, there's also profusion of chemicals in the environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, today hardly any agriculture is undertaken without using pesticides and fertilizers, chemical fertilizers. And we are eating and drinking that kind of a water, that kind of a food. We cannot escape it. I mean, we have to eat. So it's very difficult today to make these decisions. So the only things we can control is our lifestyle, sleep on time, wake up on time, drink enough water, eat healthy choices, and of course get screened, like Ramendra said. That is a very valid point. Never ever avoid that very important point.
This is so important. Like when we go around telling for breast cancer, from 40 start going in for mammograms,
Yeah.
And be careful earlier with clinical examination or self-breast examination. I think a master health checkup should be a part of every family. And if if there is cancer in the family, it's better to be, not only cautious, over cautious. If something is detected earlier, it's always a win-win.
It's a huge difference at what stage your cancer is detected.
Yeah.
It can be a difference between life and death, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
And follow-ups after your treatment.
Yes, follow up. And most importantly, your attitude. That is perhaps the magic pill for you. Other than chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, whatever other treatments you've gone through, your attitude I think, is the main ingredient why you are in a great shape today. And also, I learned in a recent conversation with you that you're also swimming.
Yeah. That was a big breakthrough for me. And even the doctors are surprised, and they're spreading the word that, this guy with colon cancer and a stoma bag, if he's able to swim, then why not the rest? Why not you guys?
So I saw Ramendra dance for at least 10 minutes in one of our get-togethers.
And something very nice he did was, he said within 10 days of coming back from the hospital, he engaged into writing. So it's a message for all that don't deviate from too much from your normal life. You get your new normal, which keeps you engaged, so that you're not preoccupied with your self-pity that why did this happen to me? How did it happen? And just start engaging for social health and, mixing with people. These things make a lot of difference, which we think only medicines can save us and make a difference. But no, how we interact, keep our relationships with families, members, friends, it makes a world of difference.
Absolutely. Relationships are everything. I firmly believe. The other day I was reading about Pierce Brosnan, the James Bond guy. He had a similar kind of life. He's from a broken home. His dad was a bit of a problem for him. But he made sure that he gave all his time, energy, and effort to bring up his kids in the proper way. So I could resonate with that because I come from a broken marriage, but my wife and I, we were on the same page, para, punctuation, as far as bringing up kids was concerned. So I made a lot of effort to see that, I give my time, which is so, so important. They don't want those fancy gadgets and gizmos and all that. What they want is time. So we used to make sure that every annual day, parent-teacher meeting, sports day, we would be there, and I would be right in front of the stage with my camera, clicking away, making sure that the kid knows that I'm around with him, for him. And, that's so, so important. So I would always like to tell, especially the parents, that please spend as much time as you can. That is the greatest investment you can give to your kids. The greatest gift you can give to your kids, the gift of time, and which we often don't. And the excuses are, I'm doing it only for my family. I'm doing it for my kids. They need a better life, more comfortable life. Mahindra, that club advertisement, it makes me want to puke. My daddy greatest because he took us to Mahindra club or whatever. No, the kids don't want that. The kids want your time first and foremost, especially when they are young, and you're denying them for fulfilling your own aspirations. You want to become general manager in 1.5 years or 2 years, and you spend 18 hours and you neglect the kid and you say that you're getting a great gizmo for him. No, you're doing it for your aspiration and for your own ego. I'll give you an example. When we were stuck in COVID for 3 months, my kids in their 20s and we in our 50s, two teenagers in their 20s and 2 overgrown, under-mature adults in their 50s. I thought there'll be World War II, 3, and 4. But what we did was we simply encashed our ATM, Scrabble, Ludo, dumb charades. I was the dumbest of the lot. And then just bringing out the photo albums and videos and drooling over those photographs, those magic memories and moments. We had such a blast because that connect was there. And when I needed them most, they were there for me because I have always been there for them. It's so, so important to establish that connect. And this connect, I think, is the most important, like I said, the gift or the wealth you can share with your family. And there's no substitute for that.
Yeah, that's so true. However successful you are at your workplace, you can never be happy if your family is not connected with you. Yeah.
And all of this, like you said earlier, the secret word for all of this is discipline.
Yeah.
Because when we have discipline, now, for example, for your treatment or for your staying in a better shape every day, you are putting in disciplined effort every day. And similarly, even to create these anytime memories, the ATM card, there is a certain discipline involved in giving time, in giving love, in showing the right emotions to the people in your life. So discipline, I understand from you, is a big part of everything. So it's not a bad word.
Nani, not at all, not at all. I mean, it's if you are disciplined in boozing, then I'll say it's a bad word. But otherwise, discipline in the right kind of way is the ultimate thing. No, you should have it.
In fact, we come from a school background where discipline was more or less a daily thing. We had a very disciplined way of
absolutely
being brought up in the entire thing, the entire school 10, 12 years, whatever we spent was very disciplined time.
True.
And that actually helped through the life.
In studies, everything discipline was there. That was the hallmark of our school. And I say that HPS, what I've gained from HPS is humongous. The resilience, the discipline, the empathy, the camaraderie, the comradeship, it all came from the school. And I say HPS stands for Har Pal Saath. That's been with me. HPS has been with me throughout my 60 years, at least 50 years.
Well, I can agree. My brother passed out from Hyderabad public school, and I know the kind, even the dress sense. If you have your dinner or lunch in the,
and the length of the hair
also, yes. So that's why schools should be more than just, places where education is imparted in terms of finishing syllabus and getting a good board result. It's life-making, life-changing.
Yeah, we got our life skills, Srinivas will agree, from the school. Debating, quiz, sports, everything. Apart from
I think, to a large extent, I can attribute it to our school.
Yeah.
No matter your background, we came from different backgrounds. But
we just blended seamlessly.
Very lasting impact.
Yeah, true.
Sir, from your this journey, I could. My name is Shiv Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I could just think. I guess that mental resilience is very much required. We should not give up. The moment we get the news that we have been detected with cancer and all, so most of the people they get, at this point of time, setback is so much. So even medicines and other things will not help them until unless we make up our mental frame in such a strong way. I think that is very important, no, sir? What?
100%, sir. 100%. I totally agree with you. And usually it starts with the individual. If the individual is resilient and tough, then the family gathers around him and friends and all that. But if the individual collapses, then it becomes difficult for the family also. But if the individual is strong and the family is strong, then that's the best connect you can have. And remember, sir, we should also keep in mind that cancer is a word. It's not a sentence, pun intended. But for most people, it becomes a sentence, a jail sentence, a prison sentence. It's all in the mind, most of all. They die before actually cancer even invades into them. I mean, the very word connotes death. If you see over the last 50 years since Anand was released in 71, even now in advertisement, in films, in web series, usually the hero, the heroine, the protagonist dies of cancer or is suffering from cancer. It still is like that. So the media and the doctors and the hospitals and the entire industry around it have made it such a taboo. It is scary, definitely, but you can't die before that. No, before death actually comes to you, you're half dead. You have given up. What I say is there is light at the end of the tunnel, but don't wait for the light. Rush forward, grab that light and pull it towards you and be one with the light. Not easy, but you have to do it. There is no choice. I didn't have any choice. I'm not a brave person. I don't think I'm a brave guy at all. I'm not so gutsy. Ask my wife. The only time she found me gutsy was when the bacteria which was there in everybody's gut came out and poisoned my abdomen, and I went in for the first septic shock. I think that was the time when she believed that I've got gut because I've got a bacteria in my gut. But seriously, what I'm trying to tell you is that I was not gutsy at all, but I had no choice. What do I do in a situation like this? Do I allow my family to crumple? Do I cry and invite death before it actually even moves towards me? Or do I try to fight it? I don't think I had a choice, or the only choice I had was to fight it. And that's how I, did it.
Yeah, great, sir. Fighting spirit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
We can wish all and the best of everything for you, Ramendra, for you and your family.
Thank you. Thank you
so many
much.
people needed like you.
Thank you so much, Ramendra for joining us for this conversation. And today we are having this conversation as part of our Power Days for a 1-month virtual marathon that we are having, in which we have promised all the participants that we are bringing special invitees to interact with them around the world of cancer. And today we are delighted that we had this very meaningful conversation with you. And, you are showing us ways to live beyond cancer. The books that are on display behind you are proof that life goes on. Books will always live. Ideas will always excite and inspire. Thank you so much. And I do hope we will once again be back for another conversation soon.
Yeah. Absolutely. I would only like to say that people don't talk about it. People are scared to talk about it. But please do share your experiences. Even if it enlightens or emboldens one soul, it's still worth it. So I would like to tell all of you that wherever, whenever you want me, I'll be there. Because this is my journey, my story. I want to share with as many people as possible. Because if I can offer a ray of hope, I think my entire journey has been worth it.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Friends, please do go through the Facebook link that I shared in the chat box, because we couldn't do justice to the video at all because the music was off. Please watch it once again and show it to your family and friends. And Kamal, your last words?
Yeah, I have shared the Wikipedia link on Ramendra Kumar. Just go through it, and it's so good to see that so many of his books are recommended by the Central Board of Secondary Education. And we are honored by your presence, Ramanendra.
Not at all, my privilege, absolutely my privilege, honor, pride, and pleasure.
Anyone,
Awesome.
anything else you'll want to ask, friends? Anyone?
Thank you, Ramen. Always a pleasure listening to you. And
Thank
today's
you.
speech was even as good or better than all the other things you told me all these days. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks so much, Srinivas.
Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned for further sessions in next weekend.
Yes.
We'll be in touch. Thank you, Ramendra ji.
Thank you, Ramen.
Goodbye.
Pleasure.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.